Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about the number one sign the narcissist knows that you know what they are, okay? I did a reel about this about a day ago, and I had somebody say, can you go more in depth about this topic, about when the narcissist actually knows that you know what they are? So that's why I'm doing this podcast, and I'm going to explain it more for you guys, all right? The narcissist, when you get with the narcissist, you guys, in the beginning, the narcissist love bombs you. They try to earn your trust. And the reason for that is they want you to let your guard down so that they could get whatever supply out of you. But what you don't realize, along the way in the relationship, the narcissist is going to be testing you, okay? Because the narcissist wants to make sure that they still have you hooked, okay? They want to make sure that they still have you hooked because they need you around. This is why narcissists a lot of times run hot and cold with you, because when they start to see that you're running a little bit colder with them, they're going to get warmer with you, okay? Maybe they went cold on you, and so you said to yourself, well, they're being cold to me. I'm going to be cold to them now. When that narcissist starts to see you playing that game and getting a little cooler with them, that's when they come back and they re-love bomb you. And this is what causes the confusion in so many different people, because they say, well, they must really care. They were telling me how much they loved me and everything like that, or they can be nice at times. The narcissist is nice at times to keep you hooked. All right, understand this. So the number one sign the narcissist knows that you know what they are is when you pull back. All right, when you're no longer looking for that narcissist, you're no longer chasing after that narcissist, you're no longer reacting to that narcissist, you're no longer fighting with them, going back and forth with them, and you're no longer looking for their validation. That's when the narcissist is going to know that you know what they are. They're going to say, they're not even arguing with me. Something's up. Why are they not even arguing with me? Or maybe the narcissist gaslit you and you're no longer even defending yourself. Maybe the narcissist called you crazy or insecure, or you have mental issues, or you're controlling, or you're sensitive, and you're not even saying anything, right? You're pulling back from that. Automatically, the narcissist is going to panic because now you're not playing their game anymore. You're not taking the bait. So the minute that you stop, playing the game is the minute the narcissist knows that you know what they are, that you're starting to see through them, or you have already started to see through them, all right? The narcissist wants you to constantly go back and forth with them, all right? They do, because then they know that you still care. That's another factor too you got to keep in mind. When you're going back and forth with the narcissist, you're showing them you still care. But when you pull back, you now go silent or quiet on the narcissist, this really messes them up, all right? Because now they no longer have an effect on you, an effect on your emotions. And you may not, even at this point, you may not completely have seen through the narcissist, but you're starting to realize that it's not working for you, because it's futile to try to go back and forth with a narcissist. They have tunnel vision. They only want to see what they want to see. See, I used to do this, all right? When I was arguing with a narcissist, I used to do this. I was always sitting there, and I was always trying to explain myself to him. Like I was like, maybe if he just saw it from my point of view, or if I could explain it, and they could see where I'm coming from or something like that. And yet he never saw it from my point of view, not because he didn't see it from my point of view, but because he didn't want to see it from my point of view, because that wouldn't benefit him. That may have caused him shame. So he would always sit there and deny everything, all right? But the point is, the minute you stop playing the game, the minute you withdraw, the minute that you don't care about trying to prove yourself to that narcissist for them to see it from your point of view, is the minute the narcissist knows you're starting to understand the game that they're playing, okay? Now, What is that narcissist going to do? Now they're panicking because they feel you've mentally and emotionally checked out of the relationship, because you're not making the effort to, try to mend things or resolve things with the narcissist. What do you think they're going to do, you guys? All right. You think they're going to be transparent? Nah, they're not going to be transparent. What are they going to do? They're going to try to re-love bomb you. And this is a test. All right. Narcissists will give you little tests along the way to see where your head is at. So they'll test you and they'll try to re-love bomb you. And they'll say things like, I love you, or you're the greatest thing that ever came in my life, or I've never met anybody like you. You're so special. You're the most specialist person that ever walked into my life, or something like that, or I'll love you unconditionally. All right. And what are they going to do? They're going to test your reaction. What's your reaction going to be to that? Now, if you fall back into it and you be like, oh, I love you too and everything, and they feel like, okay, all right, I still got you hooked. I still got you hooked. This is why narcissists do this. You know that, right? Commonly what they'll do, you guys, is they'll say something like, do you still love me? Do you still love me? Or they'll ask you, do you love me? Why are they doing that? This is common with a narcissist. Sometimes during the relationship, they'll keep asking you, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you still love me? And you're thinking, oh, they really care. They want to know if I still love them. No, they want to know if you're still hooked. That's what they want to know. They want to know if you're still hooked, and they want to see your response, how you respond to that. If you say something like, yeah, I love you or something, but they could see a little bit of your, disgust or disdain, then they know they've got to lay it on thicker with the love bombing and trying to draw you back in. But if you fall hook, line, and sinker and be like, oh, I really love you too, baby. I really love you too. Then they know, okay, I got you. Okay, things are still okay. I got you hooked, right? So the minute they see things are not working, the other thing that they're going to do, what do you think they're going to do besides try to re-love bomb you? What do you think that narcissist is going to do? And this is brought to you by Yaz at The Game Exposed. Can't believe I have to put this in here because of the AI copycat channels. But what do you think they're going to do, you guys, when all of this happens? What do you think is going to happen? Well, the minute they see that you're starting to see through them and that you're withdrawing is the minute that they are going to be sure to have that other supply already lined up, all right? They may already have the supply lined up already. Some narcissists, see, people don't realize this. Some narcissists had the other supply the whole time during your relationship. It could have been an ex, or it could have just been a situationship somewhere that you didn't know about, and they had them the whole time, all right? So don't be surprised. They're going to make sure when they start to see that you're seeing through them, that they have that other supply all lined up. They want to make sure they have somebody to fall back on. They don't ever want to be left, high and dry where you're starting to see through them and you walk away from them and, oh my goodness, I'm a narcissist and I have nobody to bounce to. They have to make sure that they have somebody to bounce to if they don't have somebody already. So they're going to be making sure they're love bombing that other supply to have them locked in, because now they realize that you're starting to see through them. So at that point, okay, and also usually by the time you start to see through the narcissist, it's because they are playing these games because there is another supply, okay? But they're going to lock that other supply in because now they're going to panic because now they know they're on thin ice with you and that the relationship could break at any time. So they have to be prepared to have that fall guy, the other supply, all right? So they're going to be planning their exit strategy. How are they going to, leave this relationship? A lot of times they cause a reverse discard. And that will just mean once they start to see that you know what they are, okay, you're withdrawing from them, what they're going to do is they're going to try to avoid you, all right? They're going to try to avoid you. First, they'll try to love bomb you back and see if that works. If that doesn't work, what they're going to do is they're going to They're gonna disappear on you. And a lot of times they're gonna disappear on you and ghost you is because now they're putting that time into the other supply, because they're seeing that the manipulation isn't working on you anymore because you're not taking the bait. All right. You're not taking the bait. You're not yelling. You're not screaming. You're not, looking for their validation. So what is a narcissist to do? They're to run to another supply that will give them that, that affirmation that, they're still in it. All right. And they're still playing the game with them. Okay. So the minute you stop playing the game with the narcissist, trying to resolve conflict with them, trying to get them to see your point of view, the minute you withdraw from that narcissist is the minute that narcissist knows that you know what they are. And like I said, they'll try to re-love bomb you, and they're also going to try to figure how they're going to try to get away from you, because now you're of no use to them. A narcissist doesn't want to be around somebody they can't manipulate, okay? So they're not going to get the supply then. And they panic too, because they don't want you to see through them. They don't want you to see through their mask. They want people to idolize them. And that's why they love new supply, because they're idolizing them, right? So they're going to figure out, okay, what do I do now? You're not taking the bait. You're not arguing. You've kind of emotionally checked out on them. So they're going to try to back off from you. They're going to back off from you. They're going to make excuses why they can't see you. Oh, sorry, I can't see you this weekend. I got my kids. Oh, sorry, can't see you this weekend. I'm helping out my mother, or I got to work this weekend. And they're going to be putting that time that they had with you onto that other supply, because now you're of no use to them, okay? Because listen to me, and listen to me good. When you're arguing with the narcissist, whether you realize it or not, you are feeding the narcissist, and the narcissist knows they got you, okay? But when you stop arguing with that narcissist, you have checked out of that relationship, all right? And the narcissist knows it. Now, listen to me good. These narcissists are not stupid in this way. They are very perceptive. They have been watching you and analyzing you during the whole relationship. Even before you got into that relationship, they were watching your social media and studying you to see what you were about, who you were hanging out with, where you were going, what you were commenting. They were analyzing you and sizing you up. So they know what type of person you are, okay, at that point. And let's say you've always been arguing with let's say you're a fighting type of person, right? Let's take that scenario. You're a fighter, and you've always come back at the narcissist, and you've called them out on their bullshit, right? And you've tried to make them accountable. You say, oh, I'm not going to put up with this or something like that. You try to make them accountable. You're always fighting back with the narcissist. Now let's take the next scenario. You're no longer fighting with the narcissist, right? Now that narcissist knows that you know what they are. Or we have another thing here too, you guys. They're also going to assume, and this is brought to you by Yaz at the Game Exposed, they're also going to assume that you have somebody else. Yes, the narcissist is going to think, oh, you're not even fighting with me. Oh, you're withdrawing from me. Oh, you don't care if I don't see you as much. You must have somebody else. Because that's what they do, right? Okay? That's what they do, right? So they're paranoid. So they're going to assume, oh, if you withdraw from them, not only are you starting to see through them, but you must have somebody else on the side, okay? And they'll even accuse you. They'll even accuse you, and they'll say, oh, you must have somebody else. Oh, you don't care about the relationship. You didn't try. See, narcissists love to say this. Oh, you never tried. This is one of the most common things they'll say at the end of a relationship, where they'll go around and tell other people, oh, I tried, but they never tried. They never tried. No, it's not that you never tried. You tried. But at that point, you pull back because you see what they are. You're seeing what they are. So you're not going to play their game. So you withdraw from them because you realize it's futile. It's not getting you anywhere. The only thing it's doing is causing you to be aggravated, okay? You're seeing, they're a toxic person. They're a liar. They're a gaslighter. And you're pulling back from them. It doesn't mean that you have another person in your life, but the narcissist will definitely think that you have another person in your life. And this is why, out of the blue, they're always accusing you of it. Because this is exactly what they do. When they withdraw, generally, it's because they have somebody else. So when you withdraw, that's what they're going to assume. And they're going to figure you have this other person because you did see that they're toxic. They are narcissistic. They are a liar. They are a gaslighter. They are a cheater. All right. So they're going to assume you're just like, narcissists think you're just like them. All right. They think you're the toxic one. I get people that come back at me, all right, on my social media and everything and say, the narcissists, they attack them and everything like that. But the narcissist really thinks that you're the toxic one and that you're the narcissist, right? So, the thing is this, they think that you're doing exactly what they're doing. And like I said before, they're paranoid. So they figure, you must have somebody. You're withdrawing. Not only are you seeing through them, but you're withdrawing because you have somebody else, right? So the narcissist is going to start making accusations, and this may be part of their exit strategy to leave the relationship. They'll accuse you of cheating. You're cheating on me. I can't be around you. And you're sitting there and you're like looking at them, all right, because you're not going to argue with them anymore because they're batshit crazy, okay? So you just kind of like withdraw from them and everything. And this is their best. This is one of the ways they pull an exit strategy. They have a fight with you. They may accuse you of what they're doing. They say, oh, you're cheating on me. I need time to myself. I need time to think about this. I need a break. They love to say they need a break so they can be with other supply. See, when things are not panning out for the narcissist, they know that they don't have you hook, line, and sinker. That's when the narcissist goes into their little tantrum, their little toddler, little tizzy, all right? And then they're like, I can't, I need some time to myself. This is also punishment to you. They want to punish you because you're starting to see through them. People don't realize this. They're going to try to punish you, maybe with silent treatments or raging. So they're going to plan their exit strategy by either yelling and screaming or starting a fight. This way they can go to the other supply and make sure they love bomb the shit out of them because they see that they're having a problem with you and you're starting to see through them because you're withdrawing from them. Or what they'll do is they'll just avoid you, ghost you, give you the silent treatment, all right, and drive you crazy. So at that point, you're going to get to a point of a reverse discard. They cause a reverse discard where you discard the narcissist because now they're really like avoiding you. All right. So they're going to avoid you when they see that the love bombing is not working out for them. They're going to figure that they're going to know game over. Okay. They're going to know game over. And so their energy is going to go to the other supply. And they're going to, generally what they're going to do is they're going to see you once in a while or something like that. They'll try to breadcrumb you. And people say, well, why don't they just end it? Why don't they just end it? Well, they don't want to end it because they're getting something out of you, even if it's attention. See, people forget about this. They get attention. They love the attention you're giving them. So when you withdraw from them, they're not getting that attention anymore. So they're just kind of like, they'll just kind of fall off and they'll give you excuses why they can't see you because they figure, they figure the game is over at that point, okay? Because you're no longer playing that game. So they're going to go play the game with the other supply, all right? This is brought to you by Yaz, okay? I can't believe I have to do this, you guys, all right? So understand this. The narcissist also knows that it's getting to that point because they're going to see that, a lot of times people don't just automatically stop fighting with the narcissist. It's a progression where at one point you were really battling with that narcissist, but then you start to get tired, and it's a slow progression to the point where they train you or get you to the point where you're silent when they're talking. All right. And at that point, the narcissist knows it's a wrap. Now, also keep in mind this. All right. They've been through this with other people. All right. So that's how they know. They've been through this because it's the same pattern. The narcissist repeats the same pattern. So whatever you're going through, they went through with their exes, and they're going to go through it with the new supply. So they've seen your behavior before. This is nothing new to the narcissist. They've played their games on people before. So they know that, it's going to get to a point. They know that everybody has an expiration date, that at some point you're going to wake up and see through them. They know it, all right? And that's why they always have that other supply waiting and ready, okay? So that's the number one sign, you guys, is when you withdraw from that narcissist, you're no longer fighting, you're no longer looking for validation. There was one other thing I was going to put in here, and I'm, getting a blank moment here, but I'll do a reel on it. But the minute that you pull back and you withdraw from that narcissist, and you're just like pretty much letting them talk because they're toxic, the narcissist knows now they're toxic because you're not even going back and forth with them, because you realize it's futile, it's not getting you anywhere, okay? So that's when the narcissist knows game over, okay? You've withdrawn. You're not trying anymore. They'll either try to love bomb you, see your reaction with that. And if that doesn't work, then all their energy and their time is going to go to the other supply, and they're not going to end the relationship with you. Most of the time they don't. But there is one other scenario, okay? They will just block you. And this is when people come back at me and they say, the narcissist just blocked me for no reason. Why did they block me? Because number one, they have another supply and they don't want you calling and texting and, messing up their game with the other supply. And number two, because you're of no use to them, because they probably realize that you're starting to see through them. All right. And then what do? They unblock you again to see if you hit them up. It's all games. It's all games with these narcissists, all right? So, you guys, all right? The last thing that I want to point out here, okay? Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. The last thing that I want to point out here with these narcissists, once they realize that you know what they are, they're also going to ruin your reputation. This is the smear game, all right? Ta-da! Here comes the smear game. They're going to back off from you. They're going to put the time into the other supply, and they're going to smear you to everybody, because now the narcissist is, in panic mode because they're afraid you're going to go tell other people what they are. So they have to ruin your reputation, character assassination. They're going to go around and tell everybody you're crazy. This is what we call, or what I call, damage control. All right. This is what Yaz calls damage control. Yaz from the game Expose calls get damage control. They're going to go tell other people that there's something wrong with you, so that when the relationship finally does crack, okay, it's a wrap, everybody's going to think that you're the problem. So they're doing damage control in case you try to expose them. People won't believe you because the narcissist has already manipulated them to think that you're crazy, okay? Or that you have mental issues, or, you're sensitive or something like that. So the smear campaign always, that's a given as well. They'll go so when the narcissist realizes that you know what they are, they're going to put more time and energy into the other supply, because the other supply is giving them, supply back and idolizing them. And they're not going to want to be bothered with you. And they're also going to smear you. So that's how it goes, you guys. All right. It's a done deal. All right. Once that narcissist sees that you're no longer fighting them, all right, that you're withdrawing from them, that you're not even looking for them, all right. Let's say you don't even call or text them as much, all right. Now they know, my main supply is dropping off. Okay, now I got to make somebody else the main supply, the grade A supply, because they're not giving me as much attention. They must be seeing that they must be starting to see through me. Okay, they must be starting to see through me because they're not giving me as much attention. This is what the narcissist is thinking. Now I got to go find that or get that other supply locked in somewhere else because this is going down the tubes. Okay, So again, to recap, the number one sign the narcissist knows that you know what they are is when you pull back. You're not fighting with them. You're not looking for validation from them. You're not chasing them. That's when the narcissist knows game over. Okay? So I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the video, share the podcast. If you're looking for one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. I have limited time and availability. Also, check out my YouTube, over 7,000 videos. You could do a search right on my channel to the right with the search button for whatever you're looking for. Like somebody said, they wanted information about the different types of narcissists. I did a video, a podcast on this. So if you do a search for overt, covert, malignant narcissists, the differences, you'll find that video, okay? Also, Facebook, Instagram is The Game EXP123, and TikTok is The Game Exposed. And have a great day, you guys.